Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Tuesday, it's Thursday, June 30th, halfway through the year today. All right, let's take a look at our first the risk disclosure requirement. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered financial advice. Results presented here are hypothetical and not necessarily typical. There is risk of loss in trading commodity futures, foreign exchange currency, forex, equities, options, and crypto, and can be substantial. You should therefore only consider trading whatever is suitable in light of your circumstances and financial resources. In other words, this should be risk capital only, something you should be willing and able to lose. All right. Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Steve and Miles. I was a little bit behind getting set up this morning, so getting all of my things in, getting the chat in place where I can see it here. All right. We got 5 minutes before market open. Crude was a little difficult this morning, it looks like. 9 o'clock start time. Yeah. This long, I would say, is not tradable. In 6 seconds, it's back below the entry. Well, actually, yeah, it's you end up in that trade. So that's going to be a stop and reverse to the short here. That will be at 109.32. And money management would then be at 22, or it's going to stay at 21 based on the trade. Just touches money management, so we'd come back and stop out at 31. And I might hide that behind hid that behind the 50 at 33. But either way, you get stopped out for a break even on that, plus or minus a tick. So unfortunately, we take the stop and reverse loss, a break even for trade number 2, and that probably is a trade. You got 6 seconds to the first bar. You certainly get out of the long right about in there, even if you can't get the order in for the reversal. And we come back to we're just 2 minutes into the session now. Third trade at 902.07, long at 109.43. There again, that one goes right to money management and comes down for a break-even stop out. So unfortunately, a small losing session this morning. Good morning, Andrew. On crude, Unleaded. That first short is, well, let's see. The first long, 6 seconds back to just below the entry. Maybe you get in it, maybe you don't. If you get in it, it's a full stop out. The short is 1 second back up here. So that's a no that's an avoidable trade. We come back to the long. And it looks like you have about 7 seconds to get into that one before it heads for the stop. And you got it goes up here in 7 seconds and it comes right back down. So basically 8 seconds back to the entry. Maybe you're in that, maybe not, but it would be a full stop out. Ooh, how did you lose 1,200 in CL this morning live, Vicky? Based on what I'm seeing here on CL, you should have. Yeah, those two would have been difficult. They may have been not tradable, so then you would have traded further. But I see money management, money management, money management, 3 trades there until you get out here. So yeah, unless if I had looking at that trade pattern, I had 3 untradeable trades like that, I think I would step aside after already having a partial loss in that. Sure, I'll be glad to check your chart, Vicky. If you'll email me a screenshot of that, that will be fine. Are you using micro crude or full crude? 1,200, you're using the full crude. I'm assuming you're trading 2 contracts. So that looks like you had full losses on three trades, or almost that. And this is the 8 tick momentum. Oh, now that's. Are you trading the mini sessions, Vicky, or are you just trading a single session? Because the 8 tick trade plan is a mini session, max 3 trades. No, 6 trades is the unleaded gas that doesn't trade on a mini session, just trades the single session. Unleaded, our single session trades unleaded YM soybeans are six trades, but for just the 1 hour mini sessions, we're set for a maximum of 3 trades. So that's one issue. Are you trading at target 1 or target 2? on a single position. Okay. The 8 tick moment, yeah, with a single position, I probably would trade to target 2. But what our basic trade plan is, yeah, the basic trade plan on the mini sessions actually uses target 1 as your primary target, but we typically are running 2 positions, one to target 1, one to target 2. Is what I follow here in the room. But my take on what I'm seeing, at least on my chart for the August crude, is the long happens, and you do get into it, but you get a quick stop and reverse, and you should mark it out once it spikes through that stop, because it does go to the full stop very quickly. It looks like it's just 6 or 7 seconds. 6 seconds to the close of that bar, and then you have another 12 seconds, but that's down and back up on the next bar. Here you have plenty of time to get into this long. That should be a break even, no question. And then you come to the short. And you got 6 seconds again on this bar. That one gets target 1 and comes back to stop out at the break-even stop. But that would be a 4th trade to me. 1, 2, 3, probably tradable, maybe not. But if one of those was not tradable in your setup, then this would be a valid trade, and that's a target winner and a break even. That's not going to be a full loss, certainly. First full loss I see is this long at 908. Then you have another break even, missing target 1. Then you have an SMA trade. Looks just missing target. That's a stop and reverse, not a full stop out. So let's see, that's 5. Short is trade number 6. So that you should be out at that point. But I haven't seen, but that's trade 7. I haven't seen but the 1 full stop out. I don't know. Okay, there. It looks like you had a fairly good shot at getting into this get in sync short on soybeans. Going 3 targets, and now Vicky, you might also, the other thing to do probably is go ahead and snapshot your settings. Let me take a quick look at those. But yeah, the ZS would be short off of this pre-market. and that one's still trailing if you're trailing using a trailing position. The micro on CL is MCL. You don't want to be in the mini, which is QC or QL, something like that. It's definitely not a place that we want to be, because although it's half the deliverable, it's only 500 barrels deliverable. The minimum minimum movement is 2.5 cents rather than 1 cent. So it ends up becoming effectively a quarter point tick type market. And you end up with, instead of $10 a tick risk, you end up with $12.50. So definitely you'd much prefer to be in the micro crude, the MCL, which is 1/10 the size of the full CL. Okay, well that's a different story. If you were looking at MCL, we can look at that here in just a second. Market is open now, and it has been for a few minutes. I didn't look at what was happening with the YM. It looks like our first trade on the YM is at 9:31. Plenty of time. Target all four targets and a strong trailer. So that was a nice one and done on YM this morning. Let's see. Then I'm also trading the micro crude, but you have to be aware it is a little bit different. It's not going to be the same as a full crude. Some days it's going to do better. Some days it's not going to do as good, just like any of the charts. Okay, so there's our start time. Yeah, probably in the short that one is actually rather than the long. Looks like that one's going to go stop and reverse to short here. It didn't get down to the stop, but your short doesn't come until 9:01. That just misses money management, comes back to stop and reverse to long. That one does hit money management for a one tick break even. So those are your three trades. And 9 seconds to get into that one, easily in that one. Then you have a stop and it's a stop and reverse at 20. It should be 29 actually. I misspoke that on the full crude as well. That should have been 29. Well, are you running a single lot on the micro crude? The only way you could have gotten, you had to have been running the full crude to get a $1,200 loss, even on 5 trades. Because you're not going to be on a single lot. You're not going to be risking more than about $30 a trade on the MCL. I'm not, I'm not saying that micro crude is not, because I trade micro crude, and I've found that I just can't. I've looked at trying to trade micro crude off of the trade micro crude, but chart the full crude, and I just can't get the trades in place fast enough. All right, Andrew, I'll pull those up in just a minute. Yeah, MCL is fine. It's the risk and movement is similar size wise trades, but it's just 1/10 the risk, so you can actually put on multiple contracts fairly easily. If you're running one full CL contract, I would say trade MCL with say five each on target one and target two. All right, let's take a look at what the Russell did since we were talking through things when the market opened. There's first trade. 1 second to the second bar. Still 1 second. Yeah, 1 second to money management. That's a no trade. Short. Just touch the entry. That to me is a no trade. That's an avoidable trade. Long. 1 second. 3 seconds. Okay, yeah. Then you have 10 seconds on the pullback to get in. That's a break-even trade. The short gives you a pullback here. That should be an easy to get into. Picking up a target 3 and a break-even trail. So one break-even, one target 3 win. And then no trades for a few minutes. 9:35, we pick up a short that is actually, well, yeah, that hits money management. If the question is, did it hit money management before it came back to trigger in? So that's one of those, you got to examine it or be trading it. But it's either a no trade or a break even. Doesn't quite get to target 3. Another short. 2. Okay. 18 seconds on that second bar, and the third bar has a small wick, so easily in this trade. Target 3 and a solid trailer down almost to target 4. So that is 2 winners, 2 break evens. And into the short now. Looks like. Yep, just definitely hitting the entry on the short. All right. Pound Aussie's not doing us any favors today. We had the short here. Meanders about. Stop and reverses to long and goes to a full stop. And now we have a second long that gave us a target 1 and then the break even stop. So looking for our 4th trade on the Pound Aussie and looking to catch up. Full stop on the Russell short, then transitioning to a long. No seconds. 5 seconds on the second bar. 1 second on the third bar. 3 more. Probably, maybe tradable, maybe not. Looks like it's just hit target. Just hit target 3 on the nose. Well, one of the major reasons that micros have gotten popular is because they don't take nearly as large an account to get started. All right, stopping out for the one tick on the trailer. Three wins, two break evens, and a full loss. That should be our 6 trades for the session. And we can take a look at micro NQ. Go back to 8:34 Central Time for our start. That's because your volume has rolled to November on soybeans, Don. Yeah, I'm showing like 1356. Yeah, that's it. His volume has rolled in November. 23,500 on the November contract. So we need to, and I didn't check that this morning, but should have. Soybeans a winner if you traded July, but you really should be trading November now. So let's see what November looks like. And 930 is right here. So that we were too far on the short. The add-on short looks like it would probably have gotten you in. Yeah, plenty of time to get into that because it touched the entry again about 30 seconds after open. So similar trade using the add-on trade on soybeans on the November contract. 3 targets and a nice trailer. You can pick up the trailer. So trailing down just below target 2 in this case. Now let's see what I started to say. Typical day isn't 200,000 because the biggest day I see in the last 3 months is 160, just over 160,000. Of course, this is only the electronic trading. Looks like volume actually rolled a few days ago. Like the beginning, we got 130,000 on the 23rd. Yeah, that was exactly a week ago. There you go. Dead split volume in around 90 to 95,000 contracts on the 24th. So Monday or Tuesday would have been your roll. Should have been your roll, but still plenty of volume until today on the July contract to trade, but should be on the November contract. There is no September contract, and it is a every other month schedule typically. That's just a quirk of soybeans. But November is the current soybeans contract. Looks like maybe some good movement in micro NQ. Here's our start time, already in the long trailing, so I'm not going to do anything with that, obviously. 5 seconds on that bar. If you're quick, that's a trade. That trade is a tradable trade. Targets 2 and 3, 2, 3, and 4. All 4 targets trailing down between target 2 and 3. Nice solid win out of the gate. Oh, that gets interesting. 7 seconds down to this bar, but I would say very likely you got back below the entry before you got your order in. So a full loss avoided. No trigger on the short, and we come back with another long. 7 seconds on that bar, definitely in that. And unfortunately, that one's a full stop. Short. No seconds. No seconds. 3 bars, 4 bars printing at the same second. 1 second to the 5th bar. 2 seconds to the 6th bar. And that one just goes away. No, that's too fast to catch. Nice move, but just too fast. Okay, 6 seconds on the long. That's going to be a full stop. That's a win and 2 full losses. Third loss will end the session. Definitely in the short. Target 2, that's a second win. And a break-even stop for trade number 4. Reversing to long at your full stop out, I would expect. 50, yeah. Well, no, maybe I probably would just use the full stop. It's within a tick of where the adjusted entry would be. But it would have been a full stop out anyway. 3 seconds to up here. Then you have one that'll get you into the trade, and it's a full stop. So there's your third loss. Yep, I agree with you, Andrew. All right, let's take a look. So that ends the session. That's the third loss, ending the session on micro NQ. Let's take a look at unleaded. 9 o'clock start. 1 second on that one. That's not tradable. The long gives you time to get in and then goes full stop. So that unfortunately was lost. Then you come to a second long, gets you in, bounces off the 50, comes down. That's at 89, so it's going to be 84 for the stop and reverse. So that it survives the stop and reverse both times, comes back up, still in this long trade, and hits your 88 tick target. And looks like it would have gotten, let's see, it would be at 61.79 from an entry at 61.26. So 53 ticks on the trailer, 88 on the target gets you 141. So let's see what we lost on the first one. We lost 138. So 2 trades, you're positive 3 ticks, and that is a POQ. Break even day on 2 trades. But you have to know the rules, and use your stop and reverse adjust. I use 4 ticks on unleaded and a 4 tick entry offset, just because it's a small tick size, just $4.20 a tick, and can move fairly quickly. So I just give it a little bit more room to give me some time to get trades in. But stop and reverse adjustment keeps us in the trade, in the long trade, and it ultimately ends up going up and hitting target. It actually ends up hitting goes up all the way to target 3 before coming back to stop out just below target 1. All right. We saw the one and done on the YM. 10 a.m. crude session right now. Let's see where we are. And we just stopped out of a long trade. That was before our start time, so there we are. And there is your first trade of the 10 o'clock session. Actually, let's get back over here on the full crude. And there's the trade. And a short stop and reverse at 37. That has triggered in. Taking heat on the short now. 50 EMA looking like it's providing resistance. So hopefully that'll keep us on the short side here. And no, it doesn't keep us on the short side, and we get a stop and reverse to long. 61. 59 on stop and reverse adjustment, 61 on key level. Money management doesn't adjust because of that. Still at least 10 ticks. Looks like it might be trying to push up through the 50, but still getting resistance. Okay, Vicky, I'll take a look at that. You have a good one. All right, full and stopping out. So that is 1, 2. Actually, 2 loss stop would be here on CL. So we wouldn't have even taken the third trade, but that would be 3 losses in the mini session, and that would end the session. So tough session on crude. Questions or comments this morning? Okay, let's take a look. I think we've pretty well gotten through most things. Let's take a look at our soybeans setup for Andrew. All right. Here is the calc for it. This is the full. This is the SL, the old SL calc. All right, I'm sorry, not the SL. This is the old. This is the full CPT. So this is the NPCP, the old net picks calculator. I haven't switched over to anything new. Andrew, let me know when you have a great holiday as well, Pamela. You got that? Not much on that one, just entry, offset, chase ticks, etc. All right. Next page. All right. Page 3. I forget, Andrew, are you on TradeStation or NinjaTrader? All right. And the rest of this is going to be pretty standard. Um, no, no, target one. It was up here. Target one is 1x, so it's whatever the X factor on the high of the high to low of the three setup bar or the setup bars from the first bar of the setup to the and then of course your stop is the X factor as well. As well, your offsets are 2 ticks each. That was up here. Entry offset is 2 ticks. Stop offset is also 2 ticks. Now, the 6 ticks that I mentioned was the minimum minimum ticks for break even and minimum ticks for trail. I-22 and I-27. And of course, anytime you have a minimum ticks for break even, you take any positions for any targets below that and push them up to the first actionable target above 6 ticks. So 6 ticks is your minimum essentially. You're not going to take a target less than 6 ticks. Now be aware that soybeans is a 50 point or $50 a point, so it's a $12.50 tick. So that 6 ticks is effectively $75. $75 minimum targets. But yeah, and once you get down to there, and I'm using target one, fixed position is target 2 and target 3 and trailer. So I'm using all 4 positions for tracking purposes. And of course, you have key levels turned off because it's a quarter point tick. And that's pretty much it. Calculate on bar close. Obviously, that's always the case with the calculator. So that gets you what you need, Andrew? right. Any other questions this morning? I did go ahead and open up the room a little early this morning because I had like 5 or 6 people already at 25 after, at about 22 or 23 after. So I went ahead and opened up. because because quarter point, when you get the quarter point ticks like that, you end up with very coarse movement, and it's very difficult to get a good place to make adjustments like key levels. Plus the fact that a key level adjustment of a couple of ticks is $25. So it's basically soybeans in that respect is just like the ES. And we don't use key levels in those for the same reason. It's very difficult to get a good key level adjustment in a quarter point tick market. It's not fine enough. All right, pound Aussie now showing us a new short, 76.29. So money management is at 76.17. Target one's at 18 with spreads back down around 2 pips. That one's worth taking. That's an 11 tick target one. So that's with a 2 tick spread, you're still getting nine pips out of it. And the other side is if you look at soybeans with only a 6 tick minimum movement for break even or what have you, you're only looking at a 1.5 point move. So it's really using key levels really changes the profile of your trades quite a bit. Key level adjustments on the entry make a big difference, increase the risk significantly, and decrease the reward. So it really has a major effect on your risk to reward. Well, YM looks like it's moving up off its session lows. Set a session low at 10 o'clock. I believe we're pretty well done. Anything anybody wants to see? Now let's see. I need to look at something here. Roy Fisher, are you in here? Okay, I don't see. All right. Thank you, Andrew. Glad you appreciate it. It I do this because I know how valuable seeing multiple perspectives and seeing something other than necessarily just TradeStation in use helped me as I was getting started. Everybody have a good one. Have a good 4th of July week. Wonderful 4th of July weekend. Monday is dark. I will be back in here on Tuesday. So we'll see everybody after the 4th of July. Happy 4th.